Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I just read Slaves to Darkness by John French and it was pretty good. The book is more or less split into 3 separate storylines, between which the book frequently switches. One follows the power struggle among the Luna Wolves after Horus falls severely ill. Basically, Horus is mortally wounded and the leadership is split in 2 sides. One side, with Axeman and Kimbra, believes that they should just continue as planned and let nature do its work, while Malagorst and Tormageddon want to use sorcery to bring Horus back to health. The resulting conflict is the focus of this story. The second story follows Lorgar and the Wordbearers, as they are tasked with dragging Fulgrim out of his BDSM dungeon and back to the Gathering at Ullanor. The third story follows Perturabo, who has a similar task, but instead he has to leash Angron and the World Eaters. The best part about this novel is its portrayal of chaos. The author very clearly stated that he wanted to show how chaos is a big double-edged blade, that in the end it poses more of a weakness than a strength, and this book does an excellent job at conveying this message. Fulgrim and his sons have gained amazing powers, but have become so depraved that they don't care about the entire war anymore. Meanwhile, Angron and the World Eaters have to be caged because of their uncontrollable anger problems. Altogether, the Chaos Forces truly have to be dragged together, and even then, their alliance is constantly on the brink of falling apart. But it's not just the philosophical elements of chaos that were done well. The descriptions of the chaotic powers and their influences were amazing as well. Fulgrim's City of Wonders and Horrors was a sight to behold, and I was quite impressed how well French managed to make the magic of the ruinous powers feel unique for each faction. The World Eaters charged with fire and lightning, the Children with fragrant smoke and mind-blowing noise, and the Obliterators are so obsessed with cold destruction that they turn into the weapons they love so much. The same also holds true for the philosophies and the culture of each legion. The Sons of Horus are ruthless gangsters with a grim sense of humor and a tendency for pulling knives. The Iron Warriors are warriors with a will of iron and a bitterness that only Mortarion could rival. The Wordbearers are zealous and scary as fuck, and so on and so forth. Altogether, this is a great book for anyone who wants to get a clear image of what all the Chaos Forces look like. Side note of course that there are 2 forces missing here. Mortarion is already on his way to the solar system and thus has no presence in the book. Meanwhile, Conrad Curse has already been yeeted into the void by Sanguinius, so don't expect any Night Lords either. The plots of all 3 stories were pretty captivating as well. There were twists and turns all throughout the book and the pacing was fast enough, so it never really dragged down. Not to mention that the political games between all the hi-hats of chaos was very interesting to read about. There was some boulder porn, but only as an addition to the story, and altogether I was entertained all throughout the book. The only major flaw this book has is its constant switching between the 3 stories. The stories happen simultaneously, and just like many TV shows that do the same, the book regularly switches between the stories. Unlike the TV shows, however, the book feels the need to do this every 5 minutes. Constantly, this book gives you 1 or 2 pages from one storyline, ends on a cliffhanger and then switches to another storyline. This was not just extremely vexing, but also removed quite some tension from certain moments, as I'd half forgotten what was going on by the time we continued. Finally, I would like to highlight the awesome portrayal of the Iron Warriors. Both the Legion and their Primarch are absolute badasses in this book. Perturabo not only has some great lines, but he also gets to shine as the organizational genius of the traitors. Sure, Horus might be the front and Lorgar is the prophet, but everything else is done by the Iron Fourth, who's making sure that the fleet is properly arranged. Bertie, who creates plans for the siege. Bertie. Together with their bitterness and a love for guns, this portrayal of the Iron Warriors is probably my favorite so far, and I would say that this is definitely a must-read for all Iron Warriors fans. All in all, I'm giving this one 4 to 5 stupid sexy Fulgrims. Slaves to Darkness is an excellent portrayal of the traitor forces and functions as a great book to read before the Siege of Terra. The plots are pretty captivating and it also does an excellent job at showing off the nature of chaos in 40k. The one big flaw is that it has listened to Katy Perry too much and can decide on a story to follow for longer than 5 minutes. Anyway, that was all I got for you today.
If you liked this video, please consider subscribing and click ringing the bell to appease the Great Horned Rat. For more lore content, please check my main channel and leave any book recommendations in the comments down below. I gotta get back to reading the next book.